Already.
Ian Locke here in the studio, Executive Director for Orion Neighborhood Television. Today, Tuesday's Community Media Day, and with me is the manager of OCTV, Terry Stiles.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, and we are partnering for the first
Yeah.
time, and we were talking about this yesterday. Why did it take 13 years for us to partner up to work together on this? Because it's Oxford Orion Fish we're
Yes.
supporting. You guys know all about them. Right, it's just down the road from your studio up there in Oxford,
right.
and so
Yeah, we've been helping them out for years. I don't know why we haven't
and
done
now we're
this.
finally tying up,
We
sharing
are.
programs.
Yep.
We've always shared programs, right? Wildcat Sports,
Right.
news events, a whole bunch of other things.
Well,
So-
now with our new system, we got a new playback system
Yep.
which puts everything on the air from OCTV. We got that last February.
That's exciting.
So with that system, we're able to connect to you. We still have some bugs to work out. So next year it's going to be fabulous.
Terry, there's always bugs.
I know.
Just before we went on the air,
I know.
right? I'm
Yeah.
running around. We had an echo on the
Audio
audio
thing.
system. Like going, what
Yeah.
is happening? You know, I
Yeah.
mean, this is live television.
I
It's
know.
live, and we're coming to you
Yep.
on Comcast Channel 10, AT&T Uverse Channel 99 in the Orion area, and Spectrum 191, correct?
91 and AT&T 99
And
as well.
AT&T
in
Uverse
Oxford,
Channel
right.
99, and on our website, and on Facebook.
Right.
And we're going around
Yeah.
the planet
Yes.
supporting
Roku
fish.
and
Yep.
Hulu and yeah, we have all that too now with our new
That's
playback
right,
system.
and we do
so-
too. It's
so
amazing
fun.
how we have access to those sorts of things now as community
Yeah.
media, isn't it?
Right, it
pretty
is.
wild.
Well, so much has happened, I think, in the last year, technically. Another thing that we've done in the last year is live streaming. I know
Yeah.
you've been doing that for a while,
Number
but
of
we
years,
finally
yeah.
got the equipment, and our budget is a little different than yours. So we finally got a big okay from our board, which that board is wonderful.
Yeah.
They understand what we're trying to do for the community. So we get to do live stuff
and
now
live
too.
streaming
That's fun.
is, everybody knows what it is. I mean, it is now. It's not the future. It's happening
That's
right
right.
now.
You know,
right?
it's like standing in front of the microwave and saying, hurry up, hurry up. Here we are. We're here in your living room
That's
right
a great
now.
analogy. That's so funny.
I got to watch you and Matt yesterday.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
so fun to sit in my office and sit there. I felt like I was here. I felt like I was practicing for today. you know?
Like you need practice. I mean, we've all been on
Well,
the air in community TV
yep. Mm-hmm.
for years, and like we said, we're so happy to have OCTV with us today,
Yeah,
and
thanks.
supporting fish. And our collection goal is $5,000. If you tuned in and watched programming today on ONTV or OCTV over the last couple of days, $5,000 is our goal. And we're on our way. We had a great Monday collection matching from Canterbury Village, and I've raised $1,000 plus. It was fantastic. And so our cash donations have gone up. So overnight, I think we're about 1,100 or something, and they're coming
Bravo.
in.
Keep
the
going.
physical donations are also coming in. This morning we saw a couple vehicles pull up and put their physical,
Yeah,
their
saw
actual
that.
food
Yeah,
donations
you've got some
coming
food.
in.
That's
It's
great.
exciting.
I love the graphics that I saw yesterday that you have so many, it's just full of sponsors.
Oh,
Yay
yeah,
for
yeah.
all the sponsors in Lake Orion.
See,
I'm
you've been on
telling
TV before. Great segue, because we need to talk about.
It just popped into my
Let's
head.
talk about. Yes, it did. So let's
Yeah.
talk about our sponsors. We have more than we've ever had, and we know
Unbelievable.
small businesses
Yeah.
are struggling. You know, they're always watching
Yeah.
their pennies, but they came out in droves from Oxford and Orion Township to sponsor the drive. And let's take a quick video look at our sponsors for today.
All of us at ONTV would like to thank our corporate sponsors for their generous donations. Today's portion of the 2023 ONTV Food Drive is brought to you by Golling Buick GMC, located at 1491 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Golling is a longtime supporter of the ONTV Food Drive, returning this year as a 5-day sponsor. For more information, you can visit their website at gollingbuickgmc.com. Canterbury Village, located at 2359 Joslyn Court in Orion Township. This is the second year Canterbury Village has supported the food drive. They're a 5-day sponsor and have made a generous donation of $1,000 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. You can find more information about Canterbury Village by visiting their website, canterburyvillage.com, or give them a call at 248-931-1900. Ohana Wealth Advisory, located in Berkeley, Michigan. This is Ohana Wealth Advisory's first year supporting the ONTV Food Drive, and they're a 5-day sponsor. For more information, you can give them a call at 248-246 8080. Shirley's Wig Shop, an online shop focusing on high-quality wig brands and accessories. This is the second year they have participated in the food drive, and they are a 2-day sponsor. For more information about Shirley's Wig Shop, visit their website, shirleyswigshop.com, or give them a call at 586-237-7977. Aldi, located at 475 Brown Road in Lake Orion. This is the second year Aldi has participated in the food drive, donating $200 to fish. For more information on Aldi, you can check out their website, Northern Wholesale Flooring, located at 118 Indianwood Road in Lake Orion. Northern Wholesale Flooring is a returning partner of the ONTV Food Drive. For more information, you can visit their website at nflooring.com. Costco, located at 400 Brown Road in Auburn Hills. Costco is a new supporter of the ONTV Food Drive. They have donated $200 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. For more information about Costco, check out their website, costco.com. Kroger, located at 3097 South Baldwin Road in Orion Township. This year, Kroger is a 4-day sponsor thanks to a generous $400 donation to fish. For more information about Kroger, visit their website, kroger.com, or give them a call at 248-393-0765. The North Oakland Community Coalition, located at 455 East Scripps Road, room 202 in Lake Orion. The NOCC promotes mental and physical health for all through resources, educational programming, and collaboration. The NOCC is a first-time food drive sponsor with a $100 donation to fish. For more information about the NOCC, visit their website, noccmi.org. The Greater Oakland Republican Club, providing political, economic, and intellectual support of their political representatives through networking and awareness. For more information about Go GOP, visit their website at gogop.club or give them a call at 248-690-5861. And Collier Lanes, located at 879 South Lapeer Road in Oxford. This family-owned and operated business was established in Oxford back in 1948. Collier Lanes are first-time sponsors of the ONTV Food Drive with a $100 donation to fish. For more information, you can visit their website, collierlanesfc.com.
All right, back in the studio here. We thank our sponsors with all of our heart. Without them, there is no possible way for us to reach that $5,000 collection goal for the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. The need is so great right now.
Yeah, it's increasing.
We had Sue in, the VP for Fish, yesterday for an interview, which will run later today and throughout the week. And she was mentioning the spike in the need. In January, in January alone, they gave away 19,000 pounds of food.
Wow.
And that is so far and above what they usually do on average that they actually had to decrease the poundage to give out to each family each month from 100 to 60, right? And with the cost of groceries going through the roof, we all know, I mean, eggs are now the best commodity. If I invested in eggs, I'd have like a 30% return.
I'm thinking about getting
beating the market, right? I mean, it's insane. I started a chicken farm and started growing my own eggs, right? But it's crazy. We laugh about it, but it is difficult, right? The families need support. The shelves at Fish, after the holidays, as you know, I mean, they get really they stripped bare in a way, and so that's what this food drive is. It's a bridge between the holiday season and the spring food drives that they have already lined up the rest of the calendar year. So we're just a bridge, and this $5,000 only goes so far.
Oh, it doesn't go far at all. Like you say, the price of food has gone up, and I'm going to go back to the sponsors a minute. They got hit really hard during the pandemic, and the community supported them, right? So now they're turning that around again, and it's really good to see that in these small communities we're supporting each other. It's still not easy, but they're doing it.
It's not, and we know like Oxford and Orion are We have our
There's
rivalries,
barely
right?
a
We
line.
know we're just, but we
Yeah.
are practically family. I mean,
Sure.
it is tied together and always have been. It's just
Yeah.
up the road. I mean, we're just down the road, right?
Right.
And you have friends, and like I go back to my daughter. She was a soccer player. Half her team
Oh,
were
gosh.
kids from Oxford,
Oxford
right?
kids, right.
And so
Yeah.
and we mingle and mix, and we're friends, and we have family, and we
I'm
find
one
out
of
that when
those-
people move here, they stay.
Oh, they do.
And
They don't
come
go
back,
anywhere. Yeah.
and there's a reason for that, right? And just the giving and the closeness of the community together to do good for those in need is just off the charts.
Even the rivalry, I want to go back to my son played football for Oxford.
Hmm.
I'm an Orion kid, so blended family
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
basically. But Oxford was playing down in Pontiac. It was, I think, a regional game or something. And I looked across the stands, and it makes me want to cry. The bleachers filled up with Dragon jackets.
Yes.
And they sat there that whole game and supported Oxford. So we're a blended family.
And
period.
it's not a new thing, right?
Not at all.
It is just how we are over here. Between our communities, you're very tight.
Yeah.
And to have the food pantry where
Yeah,
they are
feeding
right on
both
M24.
Right.
Let's take a look, and as the seasons change, the needs at Fish we know change as well. So
True.
here's if we have to look at the needs of current donations, if you will, if you wanted to donate physical donations. They're always looking for canned pineapple and fruits, canned mandarin oranges, chilies, and beef stews, sloppy Joe mix, and other meal prep items. Ketchup and mustard, just the little
Always,
staples to zip up your meals.
Yeah.
Canned chicken and other meats. Chunky soups are big, especially this time
Right
of year.
now,
Hearty
yeah.
foods, right? Baked beans are very popular. Taco shells, cake mixes, feminine hygiene products, and the
Yeah.
toiletries. You forget
Right,
about that
shampoo
sort of thing.
and soap and
Toothpaste.
toilet paper, something
Yes.
so simple. Yeah.
It's all needed, but those are
Right.
the wish lists for this season. And so far, the physical donations have people know. They know this is our 13th edition of the food drive for Fish, and it's on people's calendars now, and they know instinctively what to donate these days. But those are the really important items. And if you'd like to donate, wisely get into that too. How can you donate?
right.
We have our website set up at orionontv.org. And you can donate online for a charity GoFundMe, which we have set up. You just head over to our website and click on the Food Drive logo, and it takes you right to the donation page, and you can help Fish right away. Now, it's a charity GoFundMe, so more of the funds, there is some fees taken out, as you know, with anytime you use GoFundMe, but it's minimal. It's a lot less since it's a charity GoFundMe setup. So you can donate online, like we said, orionontv.org. Click the Food Drive logo, get on over there and donate right now. You can also donate in person here at 1349 Joslyn Road at the Orion Center, which is closed because we had a little flood
You had to
over
knock.
Sunday. Yes, we're talking about it. We are. We're talking about it again.
feel
But
bad.
we're here in the studio. We're dry and we're okay. But it's pretty crazy. But yes, you can donate at 1349 Joslyn. Our big production van sitting out front. You can't miss it. Just drop your donations off there, and we're looking to fill the van. So.
And I'm going to add that we could take collections for people from Oxford if they can't make it down this way.
So how can they?
They
how
can
you
come
collect?
to our studio, which is 2795 Seymour Lake Road, Suite A. So it's at Seymour Lake Park. We're in the building at the very front. We're at the very east side of the building. And if you have food or you have money that you want to drop off, we will make sure it gets to ONTV.
Awesome. See, and that's the partnership. So you see the graphic on the screen, OCTV. There is, we want to make sure, yep, that's the correct
That's
address.
us, yep.
And we put that up there because, hey, we have a new studio tied in. It's OCTV.
Isn't that nice?
It's
I'm so
fantastic.
happy.
So
Yeah.
get up there to the OCTV studio. ONTV is a year-round drop-off location. Do you guys collect year-round, or is it just
We do, we can.
Okay.
Yep, we'll take whatever and we'll get it to where it needs to go.
right?
We're-
Giving back with
Yep,
the studio
we're
and
there
all
all the
that good
time.
stuff. So where are we at here? Let's do this. This is a great chat, and we're going to do this all
More.
day, or
Great.
all
For a couple
from
more
12 to
hours
2.
anyhow. We'll be
and then
here for
on
a while.
Thursday, we'll be back doing the same thing. You're going to be back with us,
yeah.
so it's another community
fun.
media day and talking about music and things. So
Yay,
you're
that's
gonna,
my favorite
you're
subject.
gonna have to bring your earplugs because you're going to hear me play
I'm
my
pretty-
guitar
nope.
publicly for the second
I'm
time
happy
only.
about that.
It's kind of crazy. So anyway, what we like to do is we have some programming coming up. We have some guests in the studio, which we're going to go to in just a moment. And but before we do that, we like to have if our sponsors donated $100 or more, they had the option to have a special video made about their organization
Nice.
and why they help out in the community and their thoughts on the food drive. So we have Northern Wholesale Flooring and Collier Lanes set up, I believe. So why don't we take a look at these sponsored videos as we set up for our guest here in the studio.
The history, well, it was back in 1985, Northern was founded, and I purchased it in early 2004, so it was almost 20 years old when I purchased it, and that puts us at, what if I have that right, 36 years, I think, 36, 37 years now that Northern's been serving the Orion community as well as surrounding communities. Times are changing, and I'm a big believer in that if we don't change with them, then we're going to be left behind. And so, yeah, you know, when I bought the store, it was located there in the plaza next to OPA, which is that plaza is most known for. And we were there for a long time. And then I had the opportunity to buy a building on 24, which I did with the intention of going to a more full-service, high-end, kind of a destination flooring store. And the reality is, at the same time I was doing that, the industry was changing, and the industry was changing to a lot of online sellers and to the big box stores. Really, the strength of the big box stores has become very challenging for independent retailers, and many independent retailers went away. So at that point, I made the decision to change up the model, and it was painful because we had a beautiful space there and still that great reputation, but I believed that we needed to evolve. And now the great thing is with the Floor Trader, the addition of the Floor Trader, we have a lot more space here. We have over 100,000 feet of flooring in stock, and we have better buys than anybody. I mean, any big box store. When it comes to quality for price, there's nobody that can touch us, and especially our independent retail friends and big box and, you know, the Costco's and all of them. So we've created a destination that gives customers what they need, regardless of what end of the spectrum they're on in terms of their needs for flooring. And I couldn't have done that in that location. So as much as it hurt, we did what we had to be relevant for today's customer, and they're why we're here. So if we aren't changing for them, then I think that we're making a mistake. I love what we do and we're proud of our business, but the reality is I'm a believer that it is our responsibility as a business in a small community to take care of our community. And so, you know, we started many years ago with a few efforts, like we used to do packages for the troops when we had a lot of people overseas, and we did that in honor of one of our locals that passed, Raymond Plower, who lost his life in the conflict in Iraq. And so back in those days, we were there for that family, and we built a partnership with them. And then it just kind of evolved to anytime there was a need, we tried to jump in. And quite frankly, I spend way more of my time doing that at this point personally than I do on our business, and I leave that to our staff, which is, you know, we're real proud of them as well. But the reality is there's a lot of needs. We also are collecting food for this food drive, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that as well and helping to make sure that you guys meet the goal. So there are so many needs in our community, and I'd say more than ever, at least it feels that way. And so we believe it's our responsibility and duty to be a part of that, and quite frankly, we encourage all of you out there to patron the businesses, because when I do anything in charity, we reach out to all my local business friends, and there are many of them that come through time after time after time and are here for us to help us be able to take care of people when they're in need in these tragedies. And I would encourage you to follow me, follow what we're doing in those businesses, and support those businesses in the community, because the reality is, if I didn't have those businesses to lean on, I couldn't do what we do as a team here and as a team in the community to help others. So we need businesses that give back, and we just really encourage our locals to keep that in mind when you're making purchases. If you're buying from a big box store, not that they're bad people, but they probably aren't doing a lot in our local community. And there's a lot of businesses that, you know, don't focus on the community, and we just think that your money would be better spent in helping those that help make our community the great, amazing place that it is. You guys need to drive up here with some food, better yet, drive up with some cash, and if you're a company, you need to call in and you need to donate some money to help keep this food pantry stocked for all of our guests. So I challenge all of you, join us in this fight. And if everybody does a little bit, it's really not that challenging, and we can do great things together.
Tell me, first of all, the history of Collier Lanes here.
Well, Collier's has been in the community since the early 50s. It started downtown Oxford, moved out here in 1960 when they built this building, and it's been a community fixture ever since. It's a lot of people grew up in this bowling center for both Lake Orion and Oxford. Well, hopefully they come in here and find it friendly and fun, and a safe place to be. It's really somewhere where you want to come in here and enjoy yourself, whether you're bowling or in the game room or just chatting and having a drink with friends.
You offer food and all that?
Yeah, we've got a restaurant that's got a great burger shot, and it's nice, and got a couple of pubs, if you will. So yeah, there's plenty to do here, even if you're not going to bowl. We do a lot with the schools. The bowling center supports the Lake Orion and Oxford bowling programs a lot, and a lot of the athletic programs will do their fundraisers here. They come in and they will run out the lanes, and they'll have raffles, and it's you have to give back to the community because the community is your lifeline. And again, we've had every charity you can think of come in here, from Special Olympics on up, and they do fundraisers in here because it's a fun, easy way to raise money.
The fish food pantry moved almost across the street from you. Were you aware of them? What's your knowledge of the fish food pantry?
Well, one of the owners here, Kim Collier, who passed away a few years ago, that was one of her pet charities and pet causes. Not everybody has it, going on for themselves, and they need a little assistance, and there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely. A friend of mine once told me that they lived in a $25 an hour world, and they only had a $15 an hour job. So you just need a little assistance to get you by, and they do a fantastic job. And we took a donation over there, and they gave me a tour of the place. They're doing a fantastic job. It's just a great facility over there. Well, we're going to run for the next 2 months, February and March. We're going to collect food here, and then we'll run it over there. So if you're looking for somewhere to donate, we have leagues on Tuesdays and Wednesdays here, but we have open bowling really every day. Even when we have leagues, we have open bowling. So they can come in here anytime, open bowl, have some drinks, go to the game room, and just enjoy themselves and be very relaxed. CollierLanesFC.com, and then we're on Facebook as well, so they can get information. Our phone number is 248-628-2851, so they can call and get information. And again, if you got a group, 10, 12 people, you want to come and have a good time, just call, make a reservation, and we'll hold some lanes for you and come and enjoy yourself.
All right, back here in the studio, ONTV Food Drive 13th Annual, and let's take a look at our GoFundMe donations so far. We are at $1,150. Those are all from the public. Hey, there's my name. I donated money today. So you can too. Head on over to OrionOnTV.org, click that donate button, and you too can help out Fish. Every dollar helps to help fill those shelves, and we need your help. Right? $5,000 is the collection goal, as you can see on the screen. You can head on over to our website to donate today. I want to thank again Northern Flooring, Collier Lanes, and all of our sponsors today for everything they do. Without them, we would have a hard time reaching our goal. So it's this time during the food drive. We always have special guests in the studio, drop-in interviews, pre-recorded interviews, you name it. But today we have live in our studio some special guests. Terry's over there with the DDA from Oxford. Let's find out more about the DDA and how they help our community. And take it away, Terry.
Hi everybody, I am with the DDA from Oxford. Kelly Westbrook is the Executive Director of the Oxford Downtown Development Authority, and Kimberly Smith, your title is the Project Coordinator.
Yes, you got it
I
right.
remember that. So we're here to talk about the partnerships first and foremost because Orion Neighborhood Television invited Oxford Community Television, and the DDA from Lake Orion does so much with you, Kelly. How did that get started, first of all? You guys have done a lot together in the last year.
We really have.
And sorry, Molly's not here. We'll talk about her too.
Yes, we will. Yeah, Molly is going through her accreditation today, which is so big for a Main Street community, and we actually had ours yesterday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, we've been accredited, so we are praying for her today as she goes through hers, but we would have loved her to be here with us.
Yeah.
But I love that you guys are partnering with ONTV because it just really goes to show how this Oxford and Lake Orion partnership is continuing to thrive this year.
Agreed.
And for us, you know, it really started 2 Januaries ago now. After everything happened in Oxford, we really found the necessity to come together and really heal as a community, and we did that bringing in the Lake Orion community.
Nice.
And so now our 2 DDAs, our Main Street programs, have been working together, and it's really become a beautiful partnership.
It has, and you guys have done some really cool events. The one that sticks out in my mind the most, because I was just watching it at our studio, is the event that you did, the tour with the trolley, and the trolley going back and forth in Lake Orion. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we brought in, they did on TV for Detroit, they came in to both of our towns, and we were able to tie it together, featuring all of our businesses in both Oxford and Lake Orion. And we got to take them on the trolley rides, which I think is everybody's favorite. I think it was that group's favorite for sure.
Mine too.
Yeah, right? I know. If you haven't been on the trolley yet, please come and try it. It's free of charge. And speaking of the trolley, we just did purchase it, which is awesome because now we know it'll be a staple in our community for a very long time. And it's still that partnership between Oxford and Lake Orion. We'll be running that same route, but right now it's having maintenance done, so that we can make sure.
Oh, it's just a beauty update, right?
That's right. That's right.
A little checkup.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that people in Lake Orion can pick up the trolley here, go up to Oxford, which we're becoming a food destination, I really think. And then people in Oxford can pick it up and come down here, right?
That's right.
And that's on, how many days a week can we do that?
Yeah, so when it starts to run again, it'll run Thursdays and Saturdays in February. And then starting in March, we'll start to run Friday and Saturday. We have found now running it for the past year that is our busiest nights.
Oh, yeah.
So we want to make sure that we can pick up the most people and the most people can ride it.
Wow, that's great. Congratulations. I know that it took a long time, years really, to get that trolley in our communities and get it up and running. So good job on both of you. Let's talk about some of the events so you've been here 2 years. You've been in Oxford 2 years. You've been here about a year, right?
About a year,
About a year. You're right-hand person, I know.
Right
I always
hand.
see, every time I see an event going on, you two are just all over the place. So you have created, or there has been new events in our community that I know a lot of Orion people are coming up to.
Yeah.
What are some of those events that you should be proud of to talk about?
Thank you. Yeah, so we actually have a lot of events that stemmed from our partnership with Lake Orion. So we are running them with them this whole year.
So cool.
So some of the ones coming up, and can really feel free to chime in, but we have Restaurant Week, the end of February. Ice Fest is currently going on Thursdays. Tell them about March.
So March I have my cheat sheet here just because we have so many things happening. So Restaurant Week is February 24th through March 3rd. We have Ice Fest for Oxford is February 9th, 16th, and 23rd, and that will be consistent along with Lake Orion. We have a tentative Mother's Day event that we're in planning. Dates are a little hard to work with right now.
We have to celebrate the moms,
but
right?
we do want to celebrate the moms, so we definitely want to find something for that. We also do have Galentine's Day scheduled for this Thursday, so that's exciting, and that's specific to Oxford on the 9th. I know Lake Orion has some Galentine's
Specials, yeah.
but I don't know that they're having a specific date that they're using.
They're welcome to come to Oxford.
That's
They
right,
are, of
that's
course,
right.
of course. In March, we do have our Stronger Together Downtown Passport. Did you want to talk a little bit about that? Just because I wasn't here last year for that one.
So we did do the
That was
passport.
your launch last year, right?
We did, yeah. And I love the passport because it really does tie into communities. You can go and spend in either community, restaurants, retail, salon, whatever
cool.
it might be. And for every 25 you spend, then we will take those receipts and then you'll get a gift card to Oxford and Lake Orion.
So cool.
So we'll have all these little passports. It's just a business card size at all of our different businesses downtown. We're going to have them in the paper so that if you want to just cut it out, you can. And then that'll run all of March. So it really does try to get people out and shopping.
local.
And yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Enjoying the
Stay away
community.
from those malls.
Yeah.
right? Stay local.
I want to talk about something else that you've accomplished quite a bit of in the last 2 years. You've had some pretty good sized grants come into Oxford,
We have.
which I think the entire downtown area has really benefited from that. Can you talk about those a little bit?
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. So for us, I would say that this was one of the highlights of last year. We received the T-Mobile grant for $50,000, and that is a placemaking grant, which placemaking, if you're not familiar with, it's just making a space for people to gather in an outside space. And that really stemmed from COVID and seeing what people were comfortable with.
Right.
And the nice thing is that Lake Orion actually received that same grant 3 months prior to us. So we were both recipients, and when there's only a few in Michigan, it's really neat that sister towns did.
Yeah, no
And
kidding.
then our second one, which was our largest of the year, was the Consumers Energy Grant, and that's $250,000 that we
Fabulous.
received. So now that we've received them, now the hard part, right? And she knows that
Now we plan.
we're ready. So both
Plan
of these
and
are
implement.
The coordinator.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
both of these are placemaking grants, and so we have about $300,000 that we're going to infuse into the backs of the businesses because 90% of our folks that come into businesses downtown come through the back entrances. We did the whole streetscape, back 2020 time, and now we really need to focus on those back areas. So it's
right.
going to be everything from new sidewalks to murals, lighting, music,
Nice.
seating, fire pits. So it's going to be a really great way to hopefully keep people downtown, not just run in and out of stores and restaurants, but really stay and enjoy our community.
Sure, right, and bringing people from other communities,
right.
which really help. Speaking of music, we also do the concerts in the park, and I know for a fact that you have some Lake Orion bands,
We do, yeah.
and have had for years, especially the O'Dwyer brothers.
O'Dwyer
yeah, O'Dwyer Brothers, they've been a staple.
And they're Lake Orion
Yes.
men.
The Keynote
yeah,
Sisters
right.
were with
Yeah,
us
too,
last
Lake
summer.
Orion people. Yeah,
They
we're
were
happy
great.
to have them in our community.
Yeah, we're kicking off June 22nd actually
Yes.
for concerts.
Okay,
and
good.
then Lake Orion kicks off that next week. So they start in July and we start in June, and
so
that
there's
is so
musical,
great
right.
because we host on different nights. So they are Wednesdays and we are Thursdays, so go to both.
Yeah.
I love how there's all kinds of things like that. The Christmas parade, they have the evening, we have the
Yeah,
daytime.
yeah.
It's amazing. So I'm a blended family. I've already mentioned that. I grew up in Lake Orion. My kids grew up in Oxford. So I love that we're doing things together. I can go to Lake Orion and see people I know, and I can go downtown Oxford and see people from Lake Orion I know. It's really fun, and I think this is really helping all of us. There's a lot of us in that community that are from both communities.
Agreed.
We're dragon wildcats, I think.
That's
is
right.
what we
Yeah,
are.
we hear it all the time. I live in Oxford, but I work in Lake Orion. Or my kids go here, but we live here. So it's just really nice to finally put the rivalry aside and really bring the
Except
towns
for on
together.
Friday nights, right?
Except for Friday nights.
Only in the fall.
Don't go too far.
Only in the fall.
Only in the fall. We don't even count basketball.
No.
So let's talk a little bit about Molly. Molly's going to be here later in the week, I think.
Okay, awesome.
But how did you two develop this relationship?
Yeah, so Molly was actually the one that I reached out to when I first took this job. Government was not my background, so I needed a lot of help, and she was always there to help.
Gosh, how nice.
But, because we're both Main Street communities, the Main Street organization as a county really brought everyone together really in Oakland County. But after November happened, they took us and they said, hey, you know, let's work together, let's figure this out. And that's really where this beautiful partnership started. And now we're speaking in Boston in March. Because of this beautiful partnership, Main Street National has asked us to come to Boston and speak together.
That's fabulous. Is that at a conference or something?
Yeah, so it's the
very
national
nice.
conference.
Oh, for Main Street.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about Main Street. That's a national organization.
Absolutely.
And they kind of help keep communities economically viable, right?
Agreed, yeah. And they kind of give us those guidelines of how we structure. So we have the government section and then we have the Main Street, and they kind of balance each other out.
And that's more aesthetic, really, to keep your community
Beautified.
Yeah.
beautified. Thank you.
Thriving and yeah, absolutely. So the Main Street program is wonderful. Oakland County is one of the only Main Street programs that have the county-wide. So it's really nice because I feel like we have that extra support being in Oakland County.
Yeah, right.
And we have our 4 committees that run through that. So we get all of these volunteers in the community and our board members that can sit on our committees. And it really makes our jobs easier because it shows that we have all that support.
You have a lot of support, and I've been around for a long time, and I've seen it. I haven't seen it. It comes and it goes, but you do have a lot of support. And I was going to go to that. How important is it to have a good or a relationship with your council? So you work under the village council as well, right?
Yeah.
The DDA is a portion of a community. They're approved by the community to have a DDA. So how important is that for you to have that back and forth?
Yeah, well, that's huge. So, I attend every village council meeting. We have a village council representative that sits on our DDA board. And then we just have a great relationship with the village manager as well, Joe Medor, and everybody in the office. And it helps too because our office is housed at the village. So, we're able to communicate with them every day. Which really makes a difference. And because it's so important for us to work together to push the town forward, if we were just fighting and bickering back all the time, we wouldn't get anything done.
It's a maelstrom.
Or trying to get on someone's calendar would be so challenging, but we do happen to see them in the hallways. We get to see them at lunch. You know, it works out quite well.
You can say, by the way.
By the way,
That's
hey,
right.
Joe.
Yeah,
we do that quite often.
Yep, we do that
Joe,
quite
as he
often.
walks by our door.
I do that too to him. And then real quick, we're going to have to wrap this up pretty quick, which I don't want to. I'm really enjoying this conversation. Our buildings are filling up. So how do people get in touch? Who do they talk to? How do you encourage people to come into our community as far as buildings are concerned?
Yeah,
You have to have a
absolutely.
good relationship with those owners too, right?
Yeah.
We do. We have a great relationship with not only our business owners, but the people who own the buildings. And they have now, with that relationship, they've let us know something is coming up for rent, or, this person is thinking of not staying. So it gets it on our radar. So hopefully we never go too long with that gap now.
Got it. And then that overflows to another business in the community, your real estate agents, right?
Absolutely.
You have to have a good
And
relationship
we've
with
had
them.
quite a few come in recently.
Yeah, we
the
have.
Oxford Bike Shop, the new
Fletchies.
arcade,
Oh, that's
Fletchies
right.
Barbecue. That's
Yep.
all in our
Defined
district.
Cafe.
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think you do get a lot of solicitation from business owners looking to bring their businesses to Oxford as well. So, although we do have wonderful real estate agents, we have so much interest and
We get the
attraction.
calls.
We get the calls. So
Yeah.
we have a lot
okay.
of interest that we don't necessarily have to go out looking for.
And then do you refer them to maybe the planning commission or the village manager? How does that work if somebody's looking to get into our community?
Yeah, so if we don't know the building owner, we can absolutely set them up, with the building owner or the manager for the village, or depending on if we don't know any, we have real estate agents that, we have relationships with that we can work with. But, if somebody's calling us wanting to bring something in, we're going to make sure that they talk to somebody.
Sure, right.
Because the one thing we don't want down here is we don't want empty buildings.
No,
That
no
makes for,
community, right.
yeah, it makes it really, really hard. And we've done a good job at keeping our buildings full.
Looks great downtown.
Thank
It
you.
really does look good downtown. I really appreciate having a DDA. There's some communities that don't have them.
Absolutely.
And there's other communities that want them, and it's hard to get.
It
You have
is.
to get volunteers for your board. You have to get your council on board, and you're doing great. And
Thank you.
I love the fact that I'm going to bring Lake Orion back into this.
Yeah,
I love
please
the
do.
fact that we are seeing more of what Lake Orion DDA does in our community. So we know more about what's going on down in Oxford. I hate to say down in Oxford, but there's some of us that stay up in the northern part of Oxford.
yeah.
And I don't get down to Lake Orion that often, so I really like to hear. You have a great Facebook presence. I know that you talk about Lake Orion DDA on the Facebook presence. I keep an eye on it. It's so exciting to see what's going on here and Lake Orion. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for coming to ONTV. I know that was a little bit of a drive for you, but fun experience,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let you guys go home,
you.
go get lunch, and I'm going to send this back to Ian.
All right, thank you, Terry. It's always great to have guests in the studio for the 13th annual ONTV Food Drive supporting the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. I'm Ian Locke, Executive Director here at ONTV. And of course, both communities working together, we mentioned that, just like Fish does for Oxford, Addison, Oakland, and Lake Orion. So we are, what are we at? The 40-minute mark of our first hour here between the 12 and 2 lunch hour break live here in the ONTV studios. And I believe we have more programming coming your way, especially at the 12:45 mark. We're going to go live to Lake Orion High School to see their live newscast, which they do, and we're going to promote all the stuff the kids do over there as well. Great program. But before we do, I have a rundown here, see? So I actually have to follow the rules. So here we are. The Girl Scouts came in. Actually, it was the Brownies and the, where's the little guys? The Brownies and the Daisies were in, and you wouldn't believe how much food they brought in. They were such a great troop. We have a video of their visit to ONTV when they dropped off all of their donations and played around the studio a little bit. It was a lot of fun. So take a look at this video right now.
Hi, I'm Megan Ferris.
I am Melissa Yao.
I'm Alicia Kine. And we're leaders from Troop 77493 of the Lake Orion area. We have daisies and brownies in our troop, and we just wanted to be involved in our community because Girl Scouts are friendly and helpful and courteous and kind, which is part of our law. So we just wanted to collect cans and boxes of food for our community. We made a poster, the girls made a poster, and we just posted on Facebook and went around and did porch pickups.
How was it seeing all the girls screaming and moving all the food? How was that?
It was great.
Really having a good time.
Having a great time, worked together, carrying those really heavy boxes of food that are probably way more than they do. It was great seeing them work together.
How long have you been collecting food for the food drive, sweetie?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Oh, good. And how long have you been?
2 weeks.
2 weeks also? Okay. And somebody around here said that their grandma helped them. Who was that? Oh, right there. Grandma helped with the food drive. That was nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you guys do as daisies? What kind of fun things do you do?
We go on trips. We go on trips together. We sell cookies.
Sell cookies. And when are you selling cookies?
Now. Right now.
So you'll be starting to see us out very soon out in our local grocery stores and other stores. Our troop is going to be at the Baldwin Kroger starting on February 18th in the afternoon. There'll be lots of other troops out as well, so support your local Girl Scout.
Go ahead and say whatever.
We sell cookies to get a prize.
To get a prize.
We help the community.
You
We sell cookies to raise money to help our community.
Well, I tell you what, you helped our community today by bringing in all these
We
tons
helped the
of food
community.
that you brought in. Are you guys proud of yourselves?
Yeah!
That is so great. We are so happy that you were able to come here today and,
I'm so
and join us
excited.
in helping the community. You guys did a good thing today. Thank you.
I'm excited today.
Yay, give yourselves
I'm
a round of
excited.
applause. Yay.
I'm already excited. Is this the end or
think this is the end.
All right, back here in the ONTV studios. What a great video. The daisies and the brownies came in and donated such a large amount of food. And I don't know if Tessa, Tessa's our director today. We have the NDI camera sitting out in our lobby. I don't know if you want to go to it. I don't know if it got moved. I'm directing from the set. I should not do that. I should know better.
Not your job today. It's Tessa's.
That's true. But they dropped off so much food, and we're so much fun. And when you have the scouts in, it's great. And talking about students, there it is. Yay, it worked.
Oh, very good.
The new camera is working. So you see all the food they donated. That's
amazing.
All from those little guys. And they did such a great job. And, talking about students getting introduced to giving back to your community at a young age is always a good thing, right?
Oh my gosh,
And moving on to what we have coming next is we're going to talk about the students as they get a little bit older. At Lake Orion High School, they have their Dragon Broadcasting program, which is in the Hall of Fame here in Michigan. It's sending kids off to colleges and scholarships all over Michigan and elsewhere. They have alums who are anchoring and reporting and producing news all over Michigan, the East Coast, down in Nashville, right? So it's a wonderful program, and today we're going to give you a little taste. Again, this is a live show, trying to match with a live show in just a little bit. So we got a 5-minute window, and I believe there's a countdown. Luckily, they give us a countdown at the high school, but we're going to go to them live. As you can see, we're about 4 minutes away from LOAM, the daily newscast that the kids do that is award-winning. They win major awards every year. And we work with those students all the time when we do sporting events. We do about, 135 games a year. I know you guys do a ton of sports up there for OCTV. But Roger
Smith has a fabulous program at Lake Orion High School, which is where I got interested in video.
Really?
Actually, I was interested in radio. And then once I went to school, I was hooked on video. But
I never had a
Lake
chance
Orion's
for
got
radio,
a great program.
They do, and the one thing we work together at ONTV and our cable commission to offer grants to help pay and keep the equipment in the studio up to date.
Fantastic.
Because technology, we get 5 years and it becomes antiquated and old, but these guys are great, and they offer a new class there. It's sports production.
Oh my goodness.
Sports broadcasting, I should say. So they have how to be a PA announcer, how to do all these other things, and it's just expanding and expanding. So it's really exciting.
So many doors open for those kids. It's not just the guy that wants to be on camera.
Correct.
Or the guy even that wants to be behind the camera.
Or the girls. Sorry. Like Steve are waving.
Hi, Steve. Which is fun.
There's a lot of jobs that you don't know, from writing to hosting to producing.
Engineering, audio. Even set design. It's amazing the myriad of things that these kids, maybe they're taking that class because they just need to fill up their calendar, and then they get hooked on a career.
Well, that's true. You have the intro to broadcasting as a freshman, but when we get to this level, these guys they have to interview for these jobs. And, I think they're trying to get it to an AP level.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
wow.
Yeah, it's exciting. How are we on, Steve? How are we on time before we have to go to the newscast? We coming up close?
How's time?
Just asking. Oh, it's up. So 2 minutes 52, so time's still ticking. Hey, there's still time to get your donations in. We have an updated total there. It's $1,150 for our GoFundMe. Again, our goal is $5,000. And we have to say thank you to Collier Lanes, right? In this hour, we saw their special video that we put together for them. They were so easy to deal with and so generous with their time, and of course, donated $100.
Another really community-oriented business who's been in the community 100 years. I might not be 100, but they've been there forever, and they've been there
like that still in our community.
For the kids, for all of us. I mean, there's a lot of people that have those bowling clubs, and the kids, great for the kids, but they've done well, and the community, again, supported them during the whole lockdown, so it's really nice that they're giving back.
Yeah, and it was probably the easiest sell You just said,
Yeah,
hey, we called them up
right.
or sent them the flyers. I think you reached
Yes,
out to them too,
yep,
and that was instant.
Yeah.
It was, hey, absolutely, we're doing this. So.
Well, and the person that I communicated with is J.R. Laffner, and he's also a Lake Orion person now living in Oxford. So that's that, again, that blended
ties,
family.
everybody knows each
Yeah,
other, and all
yeah,
kind of works
it
out,
sure does.
doesn't it? Well, of course, we're supporting the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry up on M24. This is our 13th annual food drive. Fish has been around 50 years supporting the hungry and those in need in our community. We hope you do the same, going on over to our website at orionontv.org and clicking that food drive logo and donating to the charity GoFundMe to help out fish and trying to restock those shelves. And there you go, the graphic, orionontv.org. You can't go wrong. Hop on over there. It's nice and easy. I did it this morning. It took me, I think, 30 seconds. It took me longer to dig my glasses out of my pocket to read the card off, the number off my credit card before we had anything else. We ready to go? Almost 1 minute? Okay. So this is exciting. Again, we're live. They're live, and when you mix two studios together, you know sometimes
there's
you
a
can run into
glitch or two that
we're crossing our
happens.
fingers. Everything's working out okay, and we're excited to bring them in.
Yeah,
and they've been with us since day one, especially since we moved to the new studio, working with the kids to do a special newscast. Today is just their daily news, and we ready? About 30 seconds. All right. So yes, again. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be here for another hour. Stick around, watch the local news, what's happening in the schools, and we'll be back here in the studio again for the next hour to get us to 2. We're going to have some more community programming. Again, what better way to have community programming than the local high school newscast? As we count down to 3, we're going to toss you over to LOAM right now.
Bravo.
Valentine's Day at LO.
And a signing day recap. Stay tuned.
Good afternoon, Lake Orion. Today is February 7th, 2023. I'm Jameson Fanning.
And I'm Cam McCormick. This is LOAM. For the Bands of Lake Orion High School, festival is right around the corner. We spoke to the district's performing arts assistant, Caitlin Shanks, to tell us more about this event.
In the way that band concerts are like tests, throughout the quarter, throughout the semester, Band Festival is kind of the exam. That is where we show not just the audience, but judges that, not only are our students able to learn and create great music together, which is the performance component of it, but also there is a sight reading component where the students show they can play music accurately and musically when it's put in front of them and they have about a minute to look at it. So just kind of getting to showcase all of their skills. And then the pre-festival concert gives them an opportunity to have a test run of that festival performance. Then come to festival, which will be Friday evening, March 3rd. You'll be able to tell the difference between those two performances.
The pre-festival concert is tonight in the auditorium starting at 7 p.m. and the festival concert will be Friday, March 3rd.
The Bands of Lake Orion High School traveled to district solo and ensemble to compete last Saturday. This event is a way for students to showcase individual talent as well as talent in a small group performance. 23 out of the 32 performances from LO, students received the highest possible rating of a 1 in their event, with 6 taking the highest ranking. Those who achieved 1s are eligible for state solo and ensemble, taking place Saturday, March 18th. Congratulations to all participants and best of luck to those moving on to states.
Sticking with the music theme, we've got an inside look at how the choir works together in perfect harmony, even at the bowling alley.
Even when the LOHS choir isn't singing on the stage, members can still be found hanging out together outside of school hours. I tagged along with the choir on Friday to Collier Lane's bowling alley to learn how they stay in tune beyond the lights of the auditorium.
Yeah, so Smith basically said that we needed to do something with the choir because we haven't done something recently. So we all decided, as a group, that we wanted to do bowling. So we had a few meetings, we set it up, and we planned this whole thing. In the winter, we do a lot of events at different places. Sometimes we go out to eat. We do Culver's after a lot of choir concerts, and sometimes we'll just go and do that. But they're not common, but they're decently frequent so that we can bond, but we're not having people spend a lot of money very often.
I'm actually having a really great time. This is so fun. I haven't been outside and like had a good function in a while. I tried to get out the house more, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't gonna come, but I'm glad I did because get out the house more, you know, it's cold outside, it's crabby, so you might as well enjoy it with your friends.
Yeah, I think the reason that we can all get along so much and have like 8 people on the lane is that we're all very close and we're all good friends. And I think that the aspect of us getting to bond like here makes us sing better because we trust each other more within just singing in different aspects.
I feel that I've made strong connections and I'm strengthening these connections being here, present at these functions, and I'm really glad to be here, glad to participate.
For WDBC, I'm Ellen Caraba.
It's February, which means love is in the air, and Valentine's Day is exactly 1 week away. The National English Honor Society is embracing the season by selling candygrams for just a quarter. There will be tables set up at all lunches this Thursday and Friday for those who would like to send a sweet treat and a note to a close friend.
Now it's time to head over to Ellen Caraba with sports.
What's up, Lake Orion? Welcome back to today's LO Sports Report, where we'll have a look at our future college athletes, and you guessed it, basketball. National Signing Day, which takes place 3 times a year, is the day when many high school athletes officially sign their letter of intent to play their sport in college. Over a dozen Dragon athletes across multiple sports signed last Wednesday to continue their athletic careers to the next level. Nate Havrilla caught the action.
Many high school athletes can only dream of continuing their careers at the collegiate level. Last Wednesday, we saw Dragon athletes officially make that dream a reality. During this signing day, we saw 6 different Dragon coaches from football, baseball, girls swim, bowling, soccer, volleyball, and girls basketball all call out at least one of their players' names. In total, there were 16 Dragon athletes that signed just this session alone. We had 3 from the baseball team, 1 bowler, 1 soccer player, 1 volleyball player, 5 football players, a swimmer, and 4 girls basketball players. I talked to some of the athletes to hear about their future in their sport.
I chose Hope College because I really liked the team and the environment and the coaches a lot, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of fun, and I liked the campus and just everything they had to offer.
I got a scholarship for it, so it's free school, which is cool, and I'm excited to keep playing.
They have a really good history in the program and really good coaching staff, and another perk is that I get to go play with some people I know too, including my big brother, so yeah.
I want to make an impact as soon as possible. First year I'm redshirting, but right after that I want to make a biggest impact I can and take us far and be able to do well for us. So.
For WDBC, I'm Nate Havrilla.
Congratulations to all of the Dragon athletes who signed last week. Stay tuned in May for the next and final National Signing Day. The girls' varsity basketball team was on fire last Tuesday in their game against our crosstown rivals, Oxford. Alina Kuzneri delivers you the highlights.
The girls' varsity basketball team traveled to Oxford last Tuesday to face off against their rivals, the Wildcats. Quarter 1 started powerful for the ladies as they finished with a score of 7-9. In Quarter 2, the Dragons continued strong with a finishing score of 16-21. By halftime, the leading scorers were Maddie Ebert and Ryan Pawalczyk. Continuing to Quarter 3, the Wildcats tried to outrun the Dragons but were unsuccessful, making the final score 28-41 in favor of Lake Orion in the end of Quarter 4.
First off, the game went as expected. We knew it was going to be a tough game. They only had 2 losses coming in. We beat them earlier in the season. They're a very good team. They're a very young team and a very good team. So it was great to get in here and get a win. Believe me, the feeling was amazing. Since we've been the varsity team, since I've been coaching varsity here, we've come here every year and lost. Sometimes by 15, 20, 25 points. So to get a win here today, especially for these seniors, was a great feeling. Outstanding.
I think it was up and down. I mean, I think we had the lead the whole game, which was huge for us, but I think our main thing was just keeping our composure. We had stretches where the game got a little fast. We let them get us out of our groove, but we held with it till the end.
For WDBC, I'm Alina Kuzneri.
The varsity girls host Southfield A&T tonight. It's also their senior night. The game starts at 7 p.m. in the field house. If you can't be there, we'll have a live broadcast on our website at www.dragonbroadcasting.org. That's it for today's Allo Sports Report. For WDBC, I'm Ellen Caraba.
Your seniors of the day are Connor Sear,
Nicholas Heist,
Melissa Jungwitude,
Sky Kaufman,
and Logan Little.
Tune in on Thursday for a new edition of Around the Globe and a look at robotics.
Have a Tengo Suerte Tuesday, hello.
Back here in the studio, what a nice production by the high school students.
So impressive.
And we know, and people
So
watching at home might not know, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of work to put a television program on, even let's say an edited one, let alone a live one 4 times a week.
And you know, they do it with such grace and such professionalism. Those kids aren't just reading a script, they're putting their emotions into it, their knowledge into it, and you have to have all that going on in your head.
Yes.
You have to know what you're talking about and understand. You don't just read a story.
No.
And obviously those kids can see that.
And the directors and the technical side of things.
It's your turn. And
there's a lot. It's like a team. We always talk about it's teamwork,
it is
right?
Team.
Sporting event. You know, people in sports they usually get the pub because that's where everybody sees it. But what we're doing here and what they do is a team. It is you have a director who is giving instructions, and the rest of the team is executing those instructions, and you have plans and plots and rundowns and things, right, that you have to follow to make sure that you hit. And what did they do? They hit right on when they're supposed to. And now it's the top of the hour, 1 o'clock, and they were dead on, and it was great. So
on a live production, so many things could have gone wrong, and it all.
No, nothing goes wrong
I
in live
think
TV.
good planning helps a lot, and obviously and it's going with you. I mean, good planning, and look at this has been so smooth. I would have been a mess if I were you. I'm glad I'm at your studio.
My mess is on the inside. I don't have it on the outside, right?
You look relaxed.
You mentioned something while we were in that segment about volunteers, right? The kids sign up. They pick to take those classes, just like we have our volunteers here working with us today and throughout the year, and they take classes. And you have volunteers up at OCTV.
Sure do.
They come in, and without our volunteers or the ideas of producers, like our next guest we're going to go to pretty soon, as our next programming content, that it's without them, I go, you know, those volunteers really make community television blossom. It really makes it what it is. It
brings it home. It's relevant. It's geared towards your community, which to me, that's what public access is all about. And I could go on forever. The benefits of public access, so many communities don't have it. And doing something like this food drive, talking about the sponsors that are local, that we all know their name. It's amazing how important public access is.
And it does bring people together. You know, I've learned more about scholarly writings from Dr. Rao, who we're going to talk to in a moment, than I ever thought I would. You know, I've listened to more philosophers in the last year than I think I had since I was a sophomore in college.
Doesn't it make you love your job?
You know, philosophy, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So I do, and it gives us variety. It shares cultures. It shares ideas. It makes us open up to conversations that we might not want to have with others, you feel or be uncomfortable having.
Mhm.
But it gives different viewpoints together and a way to be expressed to the community, right?
Right.
So yeah, so we're waxing poetic about community TV, and we, like you said, we can go on and on and on.
It's my heart.
I know, right? So, but we do have some housekeeping to do because we are in the middle of a food drive to support our food pantry. And we do have sponsors, a record number, over 30 sponsors to help out, a minimum of $100 donation. And some of our sponsors have donated $5,000 to $1,000, so or $500 to $1,000.
That's
so
fabulous.
It's so great. So we do have sponsors for today. Let's take a look at those sponsors right now. Our corporate sponsors for their generous donations. Today's portion of the 2023 ONTV Food Drive is brought to you by Galling Buick GMC, located at 1491 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Galling is a longtime supporter of the ONTV Food Drive, returning this year as a 5-day sponsor. For more information, you can visit their website at gallingbuickgmc.com. Canterbury Village, located at 2359 Joslyn Court in Orion Township. This is the second year Canterbury Village has supported the food drive. They're a 5-day sponsor and have made a generous donation of $1,000 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. You can find more information about Canterbury Village by visiting their website, canterburyvillage.com, or give them a call at 248-931-1900. Ohana Wealth Advisory, located in Berkeley, Michigan. This is Ohana Wealth Advisory's first year supporting the ONTV Food Drive, and they're a 5-day sponsor. For more information, you can give them a call at 248-246-8080. Shirley's Wig Shop, an online shop focusing on high-quality wig brands and accessories. This is the second year they have participated in the food drive, and they're a 2-day sponsor. For more information about Shirley's Wig Shop, visit their website, shirleyswigshop.com, or give them a call at 586-237-7977. Aldi, located at 475 Brown Road in Lake Orion. This is the second year Aldi has participated in the food drive, donating $200 to fish. For more information on Aldi, you can check out their website, Northern Wholesale Flooring, located at 118 Indianwood Road in Lake Orion. Northern Wholesale Flooring is a returning partner of the ONTV Food Drive. For more information, you can visit their website at nflooring.com. Costco, located at 400 Brown Road in Auburn Hills. Costco is a new supporter of the ONTV Food Drive. They have donated $200 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. For more information about Costco, check out their website, costco.com. Kroger, located at 3097 South Baldwin Road in Orion Township. This year, Kroger is a 4-day sponsor thanks to a generous $400 donation to fish. For more information about Kroger, visit their website, kroger.com, or give them a call at 248-393-0765. The North Oakland Community Coalition, located at 455 East Scripps Road, room 202 in Lake Orion. The NOCC promotes mental and physical health for all through resources, educational programming, and collaboration. The NOCC is a first-time food drive sponsor with a $100 donation to fish. For more information about the NOCC, visit their website, noccmi.org. The Greater Oakland Republican Club, providing political, economic, and intellectual support of their political representatives through networking and awareness. For more information about Go GOP, visit their website at gogop.club or give them a call at 248-690-5861. And Collier Lanes, located at 879 South Lapeer Road in Oxford. This family-owned and operated business was established in Oxford back in 1948. Collier Lanes are first-time sponsors of the ONTV Food Drive with a $100 donation to fish. For more information, you can visit their website, collierlanesfc.com. All right, thank you to all of our sponsors, and those are the sponsors just for today, Tuesday, the second day of the 13th annual ONTV Food Drive. I'm Ian Locke, Executive Director here at ONTV. With me, Terry Stiles, Manager at OCTV up in Oxford. The two studios coming together to do good for our community and help fish during this food drive. $5,000 is our collection goal, and I think we have an update on our collections. Is that true? I think we wanted to touch on that. Okay, where are we at? $2,550.
Bravo.
Wow,
bravo.
that really jumped
Yeah,
up. And I see Costco wholesale has been added. Gowling GMC Buick, $500. That is great. So
That's
that really gets us
fantastic.
almost halfway to our goal with those corporate sponsors and those donations right on day two. It's fantastic. And let's read some names off here. I was handed a sheet, you know, the whole sheet off camera onto live TV. And we have Michelle, I'm going to Sargami, I'm going to try to say her name, for a $100 donation from the public. That is fantastic.
Michelle.
And then we have Joseph Bellinger. We know Joe. We know him as Pat Bellinger. He is a longtime member of the ONTV Board of Directors. Been the treasurer for 20 some odd
Long
years.
time.
Long time. So thank you, Pat. He was on their edit machines this morning donating.
Hi, Pat.
Hi, Pat. And then Christopher Dewey, $100 from Christopher Dewey. Thank you so much. And then Bartek Picala, $20 donation. Jason Carter dropped off $100 on GoFundMe. And Carter, he is from Oxford. He's a business owner who we spotlighted yesterday. And he helped us reach that matching $500 goal from Canterbury Village. So that pushed us to $1,500 just yesterday in corporate. We haven't put those in just yet. But thank you so much, Jason Carter, for your donation of $100.
He's also a board member for the Oxford Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, that's good to know.
I sit on a board with him.
Yeah,
He's
it
a
was
nice
easy.
guy.
Matt Pfeiffer called him up and he goes, hey, and he goes, whatever you need.
Oh, he's such a nice guy. He
There,
really is.
So.
Nice kid.
Okay, where are we at here? Should we move on? Okay, so we had some sponsor videos. So all of our sponsors who donated a minimum of $100, they had an opportunity to have a special video produced to highlight their services to the community and their charitable giving and why they support this food drive and Oxford Orion Fish. Let's take a peek at these special highlight videos of our sponsors today.
Well, the history, my father bought the property in 1991. It took him about 2 years to restore the property and open it up basically as a Christmas village and a giant Christmas store, which was the anchor of the business for a long, long time. Fast forward to 2020, I bought the property for my mom and dad, me and my wife, Angie. And in the last 15 months, we've kind of had quite the whirlwind of change with Canterbury. We are no longer in the retail business, meaning the Christmas. I've leased out every square foot of this place to great local vendors, Yates, Wooden Tulip, Scott's Farm, you name it. We have some really, really great small vendors here. And then we've gotten known for our family events that we do with our programming. Dinosaurs, Halloween, holiday, food truck rallies, things of that nature. And our calendar for 2022 is by far our biggest ever, and it's going to be a crazy summer here. Just go to our Facebook site. I mean, we got everything on there. Our social media team does a great job of keeping people up to speed on what Canterbury's doing. So just go to Facebook, Canterbury Village, and then obviously you can go to canterburyvillage.com on the web, but that'll take you to Facebook as well. I own Dino Stroll, and we've been around the country. Last June was our first road show in Philadelphia, and so we've been at it for about 7 months now. And last weekend we were in St. Louis. This weekend we're in Chantilly, and been all over the country, and it's been a whirlwind. So I never thought I'd be in the dinosaur carnival business, but I am, and I've had a lot of fun, and me and my wife have had a great 15 months, and our charity and giving has been awesome, and we're very lucky and very happy. we have 3 big charities right now. Jay Towers with Jay Juniors. In 15 months, we raised a little over $70,000 for his charity, which is helping sick kids. He takes them to Disneyland every year. And then we've teamed up with Metro Detroit Chevy dealers and the Bottomless Toy Chest. We've raised in the last 2 Christmases thousands and thousands of toys. This year we decided to go a little above and beyond, and we donated $5,000 to the Bottomless Toy Chest. They do a wonderful job with kid pediatrics for 12 months of the year. And then this year, this past summer, we opened up our own food pantry on our campus along with Woodside Bible Church. We call it the Village Food Pantry. And it's been a whirlwind. It's been very fun. I'm super proud of the charity aspects we've given. And in the next few weeks, we're going to announce our 4th charity partner. And then obviously, Matt Pfeiffer gave me a nice phone call about a week or so ago. I can't tip my cap to Matt enough what he does for our community. And if we had another 25, 30 Matt Pfeiffers in Lake Orion, it would be awesome. And he asked me, or Canterbury Village, for a nice donation for the Your Food Drive going on. And of course, I'm always willing to donate and help out. And just because I have my own food pantry doesn't mean other ones don't need help as well. So Canterbury donated $1,000 to the food drive and your program in the next couple of weeks here. But if everybody pitched in, that's well-to-do, like you just said, in our community, and a lot of people have, hopefully Oxford Orion Fish, Village Food Pantry, hopefully we can help bring that to attention and really stop a hunger in our own little community of Oxford and Orion, and hopefully continue it, through Oakland County and then Metro Detroit. And you know what? We live in America. Nobody should go hungry. I mean, our number one goal in America, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, no matter what you believe in, nobody should be hungry.
Hello, my name is Heidi Warrington, and I am the president of the Greater Oakland Republican Club. The Greater Oakland Republican Club, also known as GOGOP, consists of Constitution-loving citizens of Lake Orion, Oxford, Rochester Hills, Addison Township, Oakland Township, Auburn Hills, Clarkston, and surrounding communities who endorse conservative government at the local, state, and national levels. GOGOP seeks to provide political, economic, and intellectual support to our political representatives through networking, awareness, outreach, and fundraising. Our club meets on the 2nd Wednesday of each month at Johnny Black's Public House in Lake Orion. That's the one on Baldwin. But check out the calendar for the most recent up-to-date info on our meetings. The meetings run from 7 to 9 p.m., and local experts and state elected officials are often scheduled to discuss important issues. In addition, we host fundraisers and picnics, enter the parades, and other special fun events throughout the year. One of our biggest events are Oktoberfest in September, a large fundraising event to help get those Republicans across the finish line. We also have a very special large elephant that children and families enjoy year after year in the winter and summer parades, both in Lake Orion, Oxford, and Clarkston. For more information, go to www.gogop.club. Again, that's www.gogop.club.
Dowling Buick GMC has been serving the Lake Orion community for more than 40 years. We here at ONTV would like to thank them for helping to sponsor our food drive benefiting Oxford Orion Fish. Of course, giving back to the community is not a new concept for the dealership. Dowling Buick GMC hosts several car shows throughout the year, with each one helping a different community organization.
We We raise money for various charity groups throughout the year. Each show has a charity. This is the Orion Veterans Memorial down here on Lapeer Road, raising money for that memorial today. And throughout the year we pick different charities and we try to mix it up and keep the money in the community. I can tell you that last year with our shows we raised almost $30,000.
This is a community we all live in. And I live here in Lake Orion as well. And it's the community that supports us and our business. We always want to try and give back as best that we can. I'm blessed as far as having great employees and great customers and all the rest, but it's also a blessing to be in a business that can also be considered your hobby and your fun part of it as well, because I love cars.
And every year, Gowling Buick GMC hosts Lake Orion's biggest party of the year. The who's who of Lake Orion are invited to come out to the Holly Jolly Folly, a massive fundraiser that helps make the Orion Lighted Parade an annual spectacular that old and young alike look forward to every holiday season.
You know what? It's fun. The bottom line is it's fun, and it's really fun to do things in our community, for our community, and this is really what it's all about, right? It becomes grassroots stuff. The community comes together. And it's really great. And we've been through a couple tough years, and this is a celebration coming out of some of that stuff.
I can't thank John Cooper and Gollings enough. They are not only the presenting sponsor of the parade, they also pay for everything here. So it's a great event. I know John Cooper loves to do it, and we love having it here, and the family here at Gollings. I mean, we couldn't have done it without them. I mean, we had our oil change kids, our mechanics, guys in the body shop. We're all here today setting up, tearing down, cleaning up. Can't have enough help from the Italia Gardens. They're doing a great job. So we love it, and we love doing it here at Gollings. So it's my Golling cap. As far as I know, we're going to be doing this for a while.
For more information, visit GowlingBuickGMC.com. And again, we'd like to thank them for helping to support the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry.
Hi there, welcome back to ONTV Studios. I'm Terry Stiles. I'm the manager at Oxford Community Television. Today is Community Media Day, that's why I'm sitting here. And Ian popped over to the other side of the studio to talk with Dr. Rao about volunteer work at the studio. Ian?
All right, so yes, here we are with Dr. Rao from Kettering University. Badri, welcome. Say hi, Badri. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Ian.
This isn't the first time we've met. Badri and I work together on your show called Ideas and Insights, and we have 2 seasons under our belt.
Sure.
And the reason why we invited you in, as you know, we've talked at length about community media and how this all works and how you came to be here. So as this being Community Media Day, we're talking about if you have an idea, where do you go? What happened? What was the progression from your show now in 2 seasons in production? How did you end up here?
Well, it's an interesting story, very interesting story. And I had this idea of doing a show, and I went to one public access station, and it didn't quite work well. I spoke to several others. They all liked my idea, but they said, many of them said, we don't have the resources, we don't have the people to put up the show. Some said they have a limited mandate to focus only on city-related activities, and so they can do. So I was at my wit's end. I thought this is not going to happen. And in frustration, as a last resort, I phoned the West Bloomfield public access station. I live in West Bloomfield. Yes. I don't know what happened. Someone picked up the phone and heard me, and he said, you know what? The best place you can go to is Orion Neighborhood Television.
That's
and
good
I
to
said,
hear.
where is it? Where is this place? He says, are you in front of a computer? Go look them up.
Yeah.
Okay. And you will find this very surprising. He goes, go talk to them, and if they say no, let me know. I'm sure they will take you on.
Yeah.
And then I looked you up, And I said, all right, he's the executive director, let me see. And on a lark, I picked up the phone. I was almost ready for you to say, no, we don't have the time, we don't have the money, sorry, blah, blah, blah. But you said, come right in.
Yeah.
And, you know, since then, it's been a wonderful experience for me. And I like public access for two reasons. Number one, this is the only space where we are not constrained by commercial considerations, profit, and so on. And it shows in the culture of this place. So whoever is trying to think of a show like this must feel free to come to Orion Neighborhood Television.
Give us a call, just like you did.
Absolutely, because a community television can entertain ideas that mainstream network television wouldn't even touch.
Yes.
And more importantly, the ecosystem here, the people I work with, they're all invested in what I do. Every single person here in Orion Neighborhood Television, it could be Joseph, it could be Joy, it could be Tessa, it could be Becky, you, of course, Ian, and Tracy. I hope I've named everyone.
Yes, you have.
I love them all. I really do. They all do a professional job. And I've had a uniformly pleasant, supportive experience. I really did.
And I remember your call. I remember it vividly. And because we don't get calls like this very often, a lot of the times we have our classes and schedules, and you know, people come in and take our courses with Joe, and it's a 10-week course, and once they're done, we might get one or two people say, well, I'm going to do it, or I'm a little nervous, and they run camera, or they try the audio board. Not many jump in with both feet. And, you know, in the past, public access used to kind of say, oh, unless you take classes, you can't do a show.
Yeah.
And we're like, that's kind of silly, because if there's, like you said, you have an idea, free speech. I mean, this is a free speech platform. And if you have an idea, you are an expert on so many levels and so many topics. I'm like, how could we not say yes? It'd be so interesting. And when you gave me the synopsis of what your show is going to be, I'm like, absolutely, come in here. And you go, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to interview professors and authors and scholars from around the world. And we're going to interview them and talk about scholarship papers and ideas that can, you know, that are difficult topics these days.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm all in, let's go. And we had some development discussions talking about what your vision was. And what did I say? It's going to take about 3 episodes for us to figure out what we are.
And that was exactly how it turned out.
Right?
It really did.
It did, right? And you as a host got better and better, and you were always so worried.
I was worried at the, in the very first one. And look, I'd never done this before. Yeah. And so I was almost prepared for you to say, hey, look, you're a rookie, sorry. You go take the class, and so we're not going to entertain you. But you said, come on in, and I was just taken aback. I said, all right, he wants to run with this show, let me also do that. Yeah. And trust me, as I did more and more and more, I literally found my voice.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I mean, as a lawyer, I can tell you when you go to court, the first few times you're tongue-tied, you know, the opposing counsel and the judge, they ask you questions, and you're at a loss, in spite of having prepared a lot.
Yeah.
Because the atmosphere is such. I mean, likewise here, when you have these
lights,
and
we always hear that.
That's right, and the cameras and so on. So, but I must congratulate you and thank you. You put me completely at ease, and that initial encouragement matters a lot. It really did because I know I wasn't the best. No one can be when you, for example, when you're learning swimming, right?
Yes.
You can't be a great swimmer on day one. So.
Well, let's just say I didn't have to pull you off from the bottom of the pool.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. You're a professor at Kettering University, so you're a natural orator and lecturer. So that you are light years beyond many who walk in.
True.
It is when we get past the apparatus and you get to the discussion and you're not fighting the creative elements like sets and cameras and things, then it really explodes into conversation, deep thought, and education. Really, that's what your show is. Describe what Ideas and Insights is and how it came to be?
Well, for a long time as an academic, I have noticed that the world of scholarship produces a great deal of insights on contemporary issues.
Yeah.
And these insights are written in the form of books and journal articles, and they're published by top-notch university presses, Harvard, Princeton, Yale, Columbia, and so on. But unfortunately, what happens is the books are almost entirely within academia, in that the writers are academics, the readers are academics,
yeah.
and we talk among ourselves to the point where we know what someone is likely to argue. But I discovered that there are a lot of people out there, the general public, doctors, dentists, accountants, teachers, lawyers, pharmacists, you name them. These are folks who are interested in contemporary issues. They try to catch up, but you see, we all suffer from two challenges. One is information overload.
Yes.
The other one is opportunity overload. We have too many things going on, so we don't get the chance to get to read what we want to. So that's when I thought, if we can, in a short summary form, introduce people to main ideas and have the author talk about what they have to say, then people will get a well-rounded, comprehensive perspective on what the book is. That's how it came about.
That aspect, I think, is what really shines in your program. Because a lot of times we have our experts in and they just talk to the camera. You know, there's my camera on camera one. I say, hi, here I'm an expert on this topic. I'm going to share this with you, educate the viewer at home. We're looking at each other and engaging. And then I'll show some video and then we say goodbye. This is much different. So having the actual authors and the professors zooming in and having a live discussion. It's live to tape, but it is a dynamic discussion about the topics at hand. And the thing I love is their reaction to your introduction. So your show is broken into two pieces. It has this very in-depth summary of the topics that we're going to cover, or an idea that it's going to be. You love to use the word posit, and so we have these ideas that come up, and you dig deep into those, and then we meld into the summary of the book of the author, and then once you get to that point of going, okay, here we go, let's launch, you invite the author in from these universities across the globe and say, let's dig in, and you challenge their ideas, and and I think they appreciate that. I know as a viewer, I appreciate it, because what do we usually get in these settings? It's so how you doing? That's your opinion, right? Okay, good. See you in the commercial, right? That's usually how it goes.
Right.
But having that discourse, you challenge them on their ideas, don't you?
Right. I always do. You see,
and it's great.
I see myself as the little guy and the spokesperson. So if you are someone who is, a member of the general public, you would have some gut level reactions, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd say, okay, what's the point of this book? Where are you going with this?
Yeah.
And that's how I approach. And I ask questions that people are likely to ask, because I want my viewers to get a good sense of what this is about and what the original contribution of the book is. And most authors, as you said, they appreciate that.
They do. And the reactions from them, what do we get all the time? I say we because you and I pretty much now are a duo putting the show together. I'm on the technical side. You are obviously the expert in diffusing that information that's digestible for those who are watching. But you and I watching, what do we always get from our guests is appreciation for the challenge, the appreciation that you actually read their book, right? That makes me laugh every time. These are top scholars being interviewed, let's say by the BBC or CNN and across the globe, and saying, "Wow, this is an important work." And the host never read the book, and the author knows it, right? And then it changes the dynamic when they know you did your work. And you read it, and they go, whoa, this elevates the whole conversation to a whole new level.
Right.
And they appreciate that.
Right. And one other thing about public access TV that I want the viewers to know is that this is the only space in broadcasting and telecasting where you are afforded the luxury of delving into issues at great length.
Yeah.
So we in public access TV can offer to people that mainstream television cannot.
Yeah.
So this is a great opportunity, and I urge our viewers to take advantage of this, come up with ideas. Ian is going to be very receptive, I guarantee you. We have some fantastic
The
people
phone's
at
ringing
the
off
station.
the hook, Badri.
Indeed, I hope it does.
Well, we
So-
only have like about a minute and a half, and I do want to share too, and we talk about production, we talk about putting the show together and working together as a team, but also the distribution of your program. So it's not just here in Lake Orion that you can see this program. We share it to distribution sites that other access centers across the country can gain access to them. We put them on YouTube, you share them, the authors share them, and it is global. So your programs go circumnavigate the globe, as they
Absolutely.
say, and they're in podcast form too. So if you like that, you can find those as well. So it's a lot of fun, and I know you're working on another show. I don't think we have time to delve into your cinematic joy in the show coming up soon. But you can see he made one show and instantly said, "I want to do another."
That's right. I'm doing one more very briefly. It's called Celluloid, and what I plan to do is talk about documentary films, socially relevant documentaries, so that people can access insights that the best filmmakers across the world come up with.
Fantastic. So, Badri, thank you so much for coming in,
Thank
my
you,
friend.
Ian. Thanks for everything.
And I'm
I
looking forward to
appreciate it.
season 3 of Ideas and Insights, because I know you have a great lineup of topics and authors lined up already.
You bet.
And we're actually going to watch a segment from our selections from Ideas and Insights. Community access at its best. Dr. Rao, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me here.
Take a look at the show.
This book is remarkable because, unlike run-of-the-mill self-help books, it does not deliver homilies. Professor Tiberius refuses to prescribe values because she recognizes the mind-boggling diversity of strengths and interests among people. Instead, she avers that the best values for us are the ones that suit who we are and that we can actually realize in our lives. Though Professor Tiberius casts the responsibility on individuals to decipher their goals and values, she also accentuates the social dimension of our lives. Thus, acknowledging our need for affiliation and social recognition, she avers that other people are indispensable for learning about ourselves and sustaining a sense that our actions make a difference. To find our best values, Professor Tiberius says, we should recognize all the ways in which our values connect to each other. What do you want in life is a penetrating work of scholarship predicated on the existentialist philosophy. Existentialists maintain that there is value in the world because there are people who value things, and we need to figure out what to value and how. Going beyond this radical choice framework, Professor Tiberius argues that our choices about people are made in the context of our goal-seeking psychology and our highly socially interdependent human nature. We have some choice in how we understand, prioritize, and pursue goals. This ability provides the impetus for making better choices and leading fulfilling lives. Dr. Tiberius joins me now to discuss these ideas. Welcome to Ideas and Insights, Professor Tiberius. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me, and thank you for that absolutely wonderful overview. I wish you had written the introduction to my book.
Thank you so much. Now, let me begin by asking you a question about the main theme of your book. Your book is about finding out what matters in life. Now, there are several self-help books that address this question. how is your book different from the ones in the self-help genre, and why did you write this book?
That's something I've thought a lot about. And when I wrote the book, I actually say at some point, you probably remember, that it's not a self-help book.
Correct, you do.
And I was thinking when I said that it isn't a self-help book, that my experience with self-help books is that they have pretty simplistic strategies that are intended to work for everybody. So I think they kind of collapse the differences between people to a certain degree. I've benefited a lot from self-help books, so I don't want to put them down or denigrate them in any way. But what I was trying to do in my book is to offer something for people who are bothered by these kind of deeply reflective questions about what matters and how do I know that this is what matters and what do I do when the things that matter to me are conflicting with each other. I think sometimes we have questions like that a sort of one-size-fits-all technique doesn't really serve the purpose.
Now, your book, you say, concerns itself with the question of living well. However, in the preface, you acknowledge that a number of people, about 50% of the world's population, cannot live well because of external factors. Could be poverty, hunger, unemployment, labor issues, and so on and so forth. And you clearly state that your focus is not on those external factors because they lie beyond your area of expertise, which is as it should be. Are we to assume, therefore, that this philosophical inquiry that you have exposed your readers to is predominantly for people belonging to the middle and upper classes? Or does it apply to everyone who reads the book?
Yeah, that's certainly a fair question. So let me say first that it is true that solving those kinds of problems that stem from gross injustices, global injustice, that's beyond my expertise. I don't think it actually requires a lot of expertise to know what's missing from the lives of people who don't have the luxury to be reflective about what they value. I think, there's a significant number of people, I don't know whether it's 50% of the world's population, as you said, but it's some percentage of the world's population that isn't small, who lack clean drinking water, sanitation, proper sanitation, basic medical care. Their lives would be better if they had those things. And I think as a matter of justice, the rest of the world, the rich in the world ought to do a better job of providing those things, and we don't, and that's a political and moral failure. I don't know how to fix that. That's the part that's certainly beyond my expertise. But I also, so that's part of your question. I guess I don't think, I'd be interested, I'd like to know what other people think about this question too, but I don't think that the strategies I offer and the problems that I talk about are only for the upper middle class, and they're certainly not only for academics. It strikes me, if you think about, a lot of people may have heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. True. Where at the, you have your basic needs at the bottom, and at the top is self-actualization or self-realization. You can't start to think about what matters most in life if your basic needs are not met. But pretty quickly, even if your basic needs are met, but you don't have a lot of disposable income for luxuries and fancy vacations or education, you still confront conflicts. People who are not in positions of privilege still have work-life balance issues. And so I think one of the ideas that I think is most important from the book is this idea that our values can be reinterpreted, and that what it means to succeed in terms of your work or your family life or your friendships or your spiritual life, we can change how we interpret success in our values. And I think that's something that anybody who's not struggling just to get by and to feed their children, I think anyone who's doing okay can benefit from those ideas and may have those kinds of reflective questions about what matters more and how does it matter.
Your book is primarily an exploration of two questions, and we shall take them one.
Hi, back in the studio here, Ian Locke, Executive Director at ONTV, with Terry Stiles, Manager at OCTV up in Oxford, and we were just watching a snippet from Ideas and Insights from Dr. Rao, professor at Kettering University, who, if you saw the previous segment where we were chatting with each other, he and I are buddies now. Over a full year and a half, we've been working on his show, 2 seasons worth of episodes. And we have them on our YouTube channel, and we're sharing them with other access centers across Michigan and the country. So his show can be seen in Ohio on a number of access centers and a university's education channel. They've downloaded it from a distribution channel called pegmedia.org, which is a free distribution channel for all the centers like ours.
Fantastic.
And so it's going, he really wants it to go nationwide.
Yeah, well, it's getting there.
And the we talk about community media. To go, how much did it cost for him to do this show here? It cost nothing.
Right.
It's a community service. So we're here to educate and share voices and ideas, just like we mentioned earlier. So yeah.
And something like that can go national from a small community.
Yep.
I have a real quick story. A gentleman, he and I, early on, 20 years ago, did a show. It was just fixing things around the house.
Yeah.
He ended up on the show that Ty Paddington,
Yeah.
whatever that show is.
That was the home makeover show on ABC.
He ended up on that. Just from, he sent our clips to New York. They liked what he did. It's amazing what a small public access station. You were telling me about all the students of Rogers that ends up all over the country. We've got at least 4 or 5 that have ended up with really big jobs at major stations because it started at home. Just like politics, it starts at home,
Grassrootsy,
but it's
right?
important.
Well, we have a great story. There's it's called The Wolf Pack. It's on Paramount streaming right now. It's a new fantasy series that the lead in that show, Bella Shepherd, got her start here doing skits with Joe Johnson and the green screen and her friend. They came in and were like, I think they were middle school age at the time, and they were just experimenting with writing their own little skits and acting them out, and they had a blast. It won a national ACM award, on the national level, which that's our Oscars really for the Alliance Community Media Awards.
Nice.
So it won for children's programming, and we're taking pictures. It's great. And then you fast forward how many years, and she's on a regular big-time network,
the real deal,
across the globe, lead actress in a series. It just blows your mind that it can happen.
Starts at home.
Yep. Like our guest from the DDA, she said, "Hey, I was a news anchor at one point, and I'd love to do it again." We're like, "Come on in."
I need an anchor.
Right? And you find that too. Like we have. We had sports anchors and people that just said, I never had a chance to do this for real and wanted to give it a try. And you have that avenue. You can come in and call play-by-play on games or be a sideline reporter at Dragon football versus Oxford. And, that sort of stuff. So it can go in so many directions, from just volunteering on camera and audio board to being in front of the camera. I'd like to have a volunteer sitting in this chair so I don't have to host all the time, right? But it's this shows the opportunities that we have available right here in your community and in Oxford.
Right, and there aren't many communities north of Oakland County that uses those franchise fees for a
Funding of
television
this type,
station
yeah.
in their community. It's really pretty amazing.
All
So
right.
we're lucky.
Well, I'm getting this. So in TV language,
Already?
it says you're talking too much, and it's time to wrap up.
We can
Steve's
do
giving
that.
me the sign, but we do have a video on ONTV that we'd like to
Great.
play because obviously we're partners, and we want to give as much pub to the guys up north in your studio,
Good.
which you just moved to not too long
3
ago.
years, yep,
3
we
years
did it.
already. Wow.
Yep.
So take a look at this video about ONTV, and we'll see you in a bit.
Hello, Ian and Orion TV. This is Connie Miller from Oxford Community Television, and I'm sitting here with my husband, who is the Communications and Grants Manager, CJ Carnacchio. He's for Oxford Township here, and we're sitting in Township Hall. And we're going to talk specifically about grants.
All right.
You have a great deal of experience in writing and such, but grants are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your process for finding a grant, for presenting it, pursuing it? Because they're all different.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, I mean, oftentimes people will come to me with a need in the township, and I'll search out available funding sources. Or sometimes we get information, or I'll find information on available funding, and I'll see if we have a need to pursue it. You know, and
So you don't just go looking for loose money. You're very specific.
no, it's all about meeting a need. I mean, there's money out there, but do you fit the criteria? Do you have a need for it? You know, I try to match the needs in our community. If we need a safety path, I look for funding for that. If we need to put smoke alarms in people's houses for free, I'll do that. We needed a farmer's market in Oxford for years. We've needed one, and I found a $100,000 grant through Oakland County Parks and Recreation last year for that. So to me, it's all about identifying needs and then identifying the funding to pursue to meet those needs. And oftentimes, you know, if I submit a grant and I don't get it, I will keep that information on file and I'll look for another funding source. I don't just give up and say, well, we didn't get it, so I move on.
Well, and each one, I would imagine, from what you told me, is different in what the questions they're asking, what kind of narrative they want.
Mm-hmm.
You take it one step further. You follow their instructions and their outline, but you create a story and you draw the community into it. You give examples. You even include photographs very often.
Well, my background, you know, 20 years as a journalist, the editor of the Oxford Leader. I brought those skills into my grant writing. I mean, to me, being a good grant writing, just as being a good a good journalist, is all about being thorough in your research, being very detailed oriented, being a good writer, and a solid writer, and being able to tell a story and draw readers in with what you're writing, and draw readers in with your photos.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been fortunate. Some grants are just a straight online application where it's all text and you fill in the boxes. But there are other grants where you get to write a broader narrative, and those have been where I've included photos. And I've had a lot of feedback from the people I've done that with, that they appreciate the photos because it helps tell the story. It helps people visualize. I always think the combination, just like with a news article, the combination of words and photos is the best way to tell a story. And when you can use those effectively together to draw the reader in, that's a benefit. It gets people to read a newspaper, and it also gets you grants, because the grant writer, or the people who read and judge grants, they respond to good storytelling and solid research, and that's what I try to provide.
Now, would other people that don't have your background in journalism and photography, they wouldn't necessarily have that, be able to put it together the way you do. Would you recommend that if someone's pursuing a career in grant writing that they take some journalism classes, take some photography classes?
Yeah, definitely, because journalism, you know, again, it's about research, it's about writing, it's about interviewing people and asking questions. And yeah, I think the best grant writers are journalists, frankly, just not only based on my experience, but based on some other people I know. It really prepares you. It's writing, it's a different kind of writing, but it really prepares you. I think the two are very similar in their goals.
Well, and you did you did some seminars and such when you first started, and because you already had all that, the writing and such notched, you didn't really get as much out of the grant.
Well, the seminars did. There was some useful information, some tidbits about the grant world that I didn't know. But when they talked about writing and research, you know, that's kind of what I did for 20 years, so it was nothing new to me. I mean, I look at this job as I'm still doing the same things I did at the Oxford Leader. It's just I'm doing them for a specific purpose. And now I get the payoff Before, when I wrote an article or took photos, you know, the payoff was reader feedback and circulation and the newspaper prospering. But here the feedback is when I write a grant, I can see the tangible results of what I did. When I got that $100,000 for the farmers market in Seymour Lake, now I can go see that pavilion. Just yesterday, I received news that the Four County Community Foundation in Almont awarded us a $20,506 grant to build a pocket park here in Oxford. That money is going to be combined with about $60,000 in donations I received last year to build this pocket park, which is going to be named the Helen Smith Pocket Park, by the way.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to ask you about. Is it usual or is it kind of unique to go to the community and get specific donations for specific projects? Is that something that's recommended? And
well, I try, you know, a lot of when you're
or is
pursuing,
that just you?
Well, when a lot of grants, some grants require a match. A lot of grants don't require matching money, but they do like to see that you're invested in the program, that you're not just that you're either using money from your budget or donations or other grants to show that it's not just I have my hand out, I need all the money from one source, that I've gone to multiple sources, or that you're invested in the project. So some grants, in order to make them more competitive, I do go reach out to the community and solicit donations. I did it with Helen Smith's Park. I did it with a smoke detector program for the fire department that we had last year, Safety Begins at Home, where the fire department installed free smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms in Oxford residents' homes, focusing on seniors, low-income households, and people with disabilities.
Right.
And there were a lot of local businesses, particularly insurance companies and community organizations like the VFW and American Legion, that stepped up to donate to that. And I think the people who judge the grants, they respond to that. They see, well, you have money from other sources, you and or your community are invested in this project, and I think oftentimes they're more willing to award money to those projects that shows your community is invested in it.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I kind of thought, obviously I don't know much about what grant writing, I kind of thought that was unique to you because sometimes you do that and sometimes you don't, but that makes sense. In some you need that involvement. And of course, you're very specific when you ask people. You don't just scattershot out in the community and ask. You're very specific to the project.
With the smoke alarms, I knew right away to go to the local insurance companies in town. They were the first ones, and they were very generous, and I greatly appreciate them. And then I moved on to some of the community organizations that I know are focused on helping people, particularly our more vulnerable citizens and our at-risk people. So, yeah.
Yeah, very specific, and you've done very well at it.
Thank you.
And you've helped with, we'll talk about that later, but you ever since the pandemic started in 2020, which was really about the time you were just getting your feet wet, because you started in November 19, you got a lot of food-related and support-related grants very quickly for organizations, and that was very impressive.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know you helped Fish, and several times, and that was just at the start, you know, and you just did it, and it was great. So anybody that is looking for that sort of support, I mean, the need still exists. The need will always exist, but that's always now. Okay, if you were looking for a grant for food, and you didn't have one sitting on your desk, would you go online and type in food?
Well, there's a lot of sources. I would go to some organizations like the United Way of Michigan. They give out a lot of grants to help citizens in need. But yeah, I basically, you know, a Google search is a good way to start at what are some.
Well, you're so good at Google
What
searches.
are some grants that benefit food pantries or meal programs? Yeah, you know, the internet's a great resource, and sometimes you just do a Google search. I mean, there's been a lot of things I've found just by doing a quick Google search and saying, okay, what's out there,
Yeah.
and then you go from there.
Well, we're going to wrap this up for now. It was nice visiting with all of you. Good luck with your food drive, and bye-bye from OCTV.
All right, great video from OCTV. I think I introduced it as a highlight of the studio, but it was more of an example of your community service with interviews with people in the township up
Information
there and
and-
information about all that stuff.
Right.
And that's great information about
yeah.
the grants.
Yeah, right, right.
Um,
We've done pretty well with that, and hopefully imparting that information to more businesses in the community.
And it shows the process of government in action, right?
Mhm,
It's
right.
well, how did we get this park? It's not tax dollars, it's grant
Right,
dollars,
yeah.
and there's so much
Mhm.
that goes into that behind the scenes that the average resident may not know.
Right.
And
Right.
that's why you and I are here
That's why we're
with
here.
our crews
Yep.
in these TV centers to share that with the community, right?
Right, and be part of that community. yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so this is the gray area of the day when we're closing on the top of the hour to get out of here. So do we? Let's do some housekeeping. Is that okay? I'm not sure where we're going. What's my? I don't want to just say get out of Dodge, but where are we in recollections? Let's go through the order again. Our director Tessa, go ahead. Push me in whatever direction you need me to go. All right, there's our food drive update so far. Again, 2550
Doing well.
went
That's
really
amazing.
off the charts because of our corporate sponsors,
Golly.
Costco Wholesale, Gowling Buick GMC. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That
Just
really
in
pushes
that 1
where
hour,
we need to go.
and we've bumped
Yeah,
it
and
up.
they're
It's
5-day
great.
sponsors, so it's
Yeah.
$500 donations. Fantastic. So we have other sponsors being processed and coming online, and we're going to
Nice.
update that total as it comes along. But the community's been great donating to our charity GoFundMe. Again, the goal is $5,000, and I'm pretty sure we're going to launch through that sometime. But
By Friday.
don't
yeah.
go, oh, you got your $5,000. I'm not going to help out.
No,
They
no,
can
no.
use every
Oh
penny.
my goodness, yeah. And like you said earlier, $5,000 doesn't go very far now
no.
at the price of eggs, and people need basics: eggs, bread, butter, and milk.
Yeah, pastas. I mean, everything has
Yes.
gone.
Yeah.
And the need has gone up.
Yeah.
But the resources have gone down.
Yeah, sure
Right.
have.
So that's why we
Right.
are here to help get those resources
Yeah.
back online. And the
Right.
great thing about you can donate online. Visit OrionOnTV.org. Click that food drive logo, and it'll take you right to the donation page right there, and you'll see that little medallion at the top. It says donate. Click here. And when you click on it, it takes you to the charity GoFundMe where you can donate via credit card. 100% of all donations go directly to Fish. I think they take a little bit out for processing, but since it's a charity GoFundMe, the processing fees are minimal.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think they even have a tip option they've added
Oh,
now
nice.
to cover those costs.
Oh,
so if you
okay.
want to make sure $50 donation goes
Right.
directly to them, it's not
Easy.
like $43
7 cents,
21
yeah,
cents, some
right.
odd number.
Yeah,
But you can add a tip to it. So you can also donate physical food items, right? We're trying to fill our production van, so you can pop on over to the studio at 1349 Joslin Road at the Orion Center, just south of Clarkston Road. You can pop in from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday and fill that van. It's sitting right out there with its door open, and we had a couple donations this morning, which is always good. You see the cars roll up and offload their donations, which is fantastic. And last year we really did fill that van up, and the high school kids at Lake Orion High School's broadcasting program ran a mini food drive inside the school, and they've done that every year. And they usually got, what do they call it? Service learning or
credits.
service credit
Yeah,
hours. Which
service
they have to have
learning
so
credits.
many to graduate.
Oh,
You have to have,
that's
you have to have so
fabulous.
many.
Yep.
This year they
That was nice of them.
it was nice, but they took it away. So now so now they're working on another avenue to try to collect, not with the food drive, but it's kind of this week. So we just heard that news yesterday.
Very good.
So there's some kids going, hey, we heard about the food drive. We're not doing anything in the school. Let's do something too. So, which is great. And the other thing too is
good for
you
those
work with the
kids.
VFW Hall.
Yes.
Right? Those
Right.
guys are fantastic.
We work a lot with them, and they're really good to the community. They're really good as far as making sure everybody's fed in our community, yeah.
And they are sponsors of a shelf
Yes.
at the food
They
pantry.
sure are.
And we
Yep.
know, wrap it up for the day, and we know that, I think my clock stopped working.
Oh,
So,
no.
so I have
Yes,
to
it
wrap it
did.
up. Okay, so we're at the 2 o'clock hour. I'm going to say thank you, Terry, for coming
You're
in.
welcome.
We'll see you on Thursday,
Thank
right? You'll
you.
be back with us
I'll
in
be
the
back.
studio. We're back here live 12 o'clock tomorrow, and it will be Sports Day. So it's a bunch of sports from Oxford and Orion. So get those donations in, and we'll see you tomorrow at noon. Click that donate button. Come on, donate.
It's easy.
And drop
It's
off
really
those
easy.
donations, and we'll see you tomorrow at noon. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye-bye.